Hey, I'm Pascal from Orangepixel. If this is your first time checking out any of my videos, I'm sorry, you picked a very wrong video. You might hear it. I'm a little bit under the weather, a little flu, I guess. My wife had it a whole week, and in a good relationship you share everything, including things like this. So this video I'm just going to do some rambling about game development business. There's a bunch of things. I'm just gonna unload it to you, so I have a video here, mostly because I don't want to skip doing my weekly videos. As soon as I skip one video, I think I'm gonna find it too easy to skip videos, and whenever I don't feel like it or don't think I have enough, I might just find it very easy to skip them. So I want a video, and that's this video. So after the intro, just some stuff that I'm working on, a lot of game business things. I've been mentioning these things here and there on the channel. There's just a lot of stuff that's, besides doing game development and making your game, there's a huge amount of extra things that need to be done. Let's talk about some of those things. It could be interesting if you want to be a game developer or a solo game developer. There's a lot of other stuff that can happen and need to be figured out. Alright, so I'm actually having a little list for this. Usually I do this all just wing it. Now I just wrote down everything I want to talk about and can talk about. First thing, Regulator City, the game I've been working on for the past year or now. The cats are playing. Regulator City, I've been working on this game for the last year, I guess, sort of, almost a year. It's a big game, it's not done yet. I mentioned this last week that it's pretty much at the limit of the budget I have for it. Someone on Discord just asked, how do you calculate a budget like that? For me, that's very simple. I have a set amount of money I need to make every month. Cost of living, let's call it cost of living. To pay the mortgage, to pay the food, to pay the insurances, the taxes, everything that you need to pay. I set it to 2,500 euros a month for the Netherlands. It's on the low end, but there's always extra money coming in left and right. So 2,500 times the amount of months you're working on the game. Right now that's about 12 months. That's about 30k. So the game has to make back at least 30k. Of course, there's always money coming in from other projects, previous games, games launching on new platforms. So it doesn't have to make back that exact amount, but it's gonna be very hard to make that amount by just releasing it. So I'm slightly worried. Been doing a lot of thinking about this. Talked to publishers or tried to contact publishers. Had a whole list of some top publishers. They all said no in the recent couple of weeks, which has been, I mean, it's not good for morale, getting all these no's from publishers. And I understand why they say no. Pretty much a publisher wants a game that's gonna be instant hit or hook or something that grabs a player's attention. This game isn't that. Most of my games aren't that. My games are great and a lot of fun, but they're not extremely unique or very weird or very marketable. Pretty much when a publisher says yes to your game, you could probably release it on your own because it's gonna do very well. A publisher is taking almost only the sure hits, or if you have a very good track record of games or released with the publisher already, some good games that did very well, they might be easier saying yes to games that are maybe a little less hooky and marketable. But in short, it's been a little bit tough getting all these no's from publisher. They also had a demo version of the game available, and none of the publishers except one played the demo. They just looked at the screenshots, at the trailer video that was old, and I mentioned that, the GIFs I made and my text for it. Based on that, they said no. That's frustrating, to say the least. So a publisher is not gonna happen on Regulator City. Cats, can you just be quiet? Thank you. I also looked into game funds. That's pretty much the same as a publisher. You get money from them. They want to make that money back with interest, except they don't really do anything else. They won't handle marketing for you. They won't tell you what the game should be or mess with the game or talk about the game at all. They just, here's the money if they are interested, and once you start selling the game, we want it all back and a little extra. That's another option. Not sure I'm gonna go that way. The third option is Kickstarter. I did a Kickstarter for Residual. The big downside of a Kickstarter is that everybody that backs your game and eventually gets a PC copy, a Steam key, their reviews won't count on Steam store page. And you need a lot of reviews, especially in the first launch period, to get that game noticed by the Steam algorithm. So you're pretty much wasting your launch on Kickstarter backers, and it's difficult to it's an issue. So publisher is not gonna happen. A game fund probably not, because I don't like to owe money to other people. Kickstarter also probably not, but I have been thinking about these things constantly for the last 2 months, because if you're gonna do a Kickstarter, you need to set up that page. I've been working on that, but you also need a trailer. For that trailer, you need to make sure certain things in the game are up and running, which they weren't. So I've been working on those things to make sure I could make a trailer, and then that trailer could be used to either contact a game fund or do a Kickstarter. Everything just is intertwined with each other, and all the while those things are in your head, you also have to work on the game, because that game needs to be done. Letting that all go now. This week I did some calculations, and based on things, I think I'm gonna be fine this year, and I can actually release this game without extra funding. Probably not gonna do the 30, 40, 50k that I've invested in making the game, but it doesn't have to do that as well, because my previous games did pretty well. So I have a buffer, and as long as this game does a certain threshold, maybe 10, maybe 15k in total on all platforms, and that's very doable, I'm fine. And I use this code base of this game for another game idea I have, which makes it a lot easier, because that game will be developed in a shorter time period, just built on top of this. I think it will all work out fine, but it's a business decision. It's a bit of a gamble, educated gamble, but still we'll see how it all works out. And that's just Regulator City. So my goal right now is to aim for a demo version for the next Steam Next Fest, which is the free Steam festival where you can play a bunch of demos of games that aren't released yet. I should be able to have a demo up and running for that one. Maybe I'll do some alpha testing or beta testing before that through Steam and also on Discord. So make sure to drop on Discord if you want to play Regulator City before it's available for everybody else. And that's just all about Regulator City. That's my head full of stuff about Regulator City. I'm also still tinkering with Residual. There's a bunch of things going on with Residual. I'll get into that a little more in some months from now. But I am looking into doing a mobile release, Android and iPhone. Before I can do that, I want to change the inventory screen so that it looks better on small displays like the Switch, but also on iOS and Android. So for that I first need to do the new inventory screen, then we'll have to make that available for Switch. The PC version and the mobile version have to be done, and we also have to release on Xbox and PlayStation still. It's just a lot of stuff that goes on, and that's just business decisions. When am I gonna do this? When should Residual be launched on mobile? Can we launch it before we launch it on Xbox? Because on mobile we're gonna do a lower price than on Xbox. So maybe I should trim out stuff on the mobile version, make it a little bit smaller, so that justifies the price difference. It's just a bunch of different decisions that have to be made, and all those things are always buzzing around in my head, which is a lot of great fun. Never feel alone. So that's Regulator City, that's Residual. Besides that, I started a game project with Haragoshi, the guy who just did all that great artwork for Regulator City. That's just gonna be like 1 day a week, maybe 2, depends on where the project is. Right now we have some stuff up and running. He's gonna do the graphics for it. This could be an interesting game. That's a tiny side project. That's actually a fun extra to do, because it's just creating a new game. And that's the easiest and the most fun thing in game development. Now we just have to actually complete that game and then do all the business stuff for that game. But we'll get to those things eventually. I know Google Pass is also something I'm looking into, just to see if I can get all or most of my games into Google Pass. I'm hearing some good things from other developers, so I just want to check it out. Like I always say, launching your games on as many platforms and as many models as possible, always a good thing. And besides that, we're also looking at Atari Console, the new Atari Console. I talked to them back in December, but didn't get things up and running. I had a lot of stuff on my plate. Now talking to Serious Lion, who does all my console ports, and we might actually be able to use the mono game version that he has. to release these games on Atari. So maybe we'll actually be releasing games on Atari. Besides Nintendo, now on Atari. It's a great time to be a game developer. Anyway, my throat is getting worse, so I'm ending this video here. Like I said at the beginning, sorry, it's a bit of a boring video, lots of business stuff, but that's also part of game development, and at least I managed to get a video out of it. I hope it was interesting for some of you. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments or drop by on the Discord, where every now and then people ask these type of questions and I also answer them there, which interesting discussions every now and then. So thanks for watching, like, subscribe if you haven't already, and hopefully I'll see you with a better video next week. Thanks for sitting this one out, and bye.